Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back. Now this is part 2 of the third video. Kind of a bit confusing, but I sat here and I tackled a few issues in part 1, part 2 and part 3, but then I realized part 3 was a longer video, so I decided to split part 3 video into 2. So this is part 2 of the third video. So if you haven't seen the previous video, by all means go back on the channel, watch this previous video, part 3, but also watch part 1 when I spoke about the food, dieting, habits, etc. Part 2 was all about training, how old they should be when they start training, how much training a child should be doing, and also disciplining when it comes to sports, etc. And then part 3 was about the importance of today's kids in sports, and how will that help them when they get older. Okay, so the third question was ways for a healthy mindset for children. So I'm going to address that now, and hopefully this will be a shorter video, and I hope you guys appreciate this. Stay tuned to the end. Please like, subscribe and follow, and any comments, please leave them behind. Okay, so how can we get a healthy mindset for children? Okay, now the first video I spoke about was healthy eating environment in the house. Okay, healthy eating environment in the house, healthy food. That is massive. Okay, we say you are what you eat. If you put a lot of junk food in, a lot of sugar in, and that, you're going to be lethargic, lazy, etc. Because all this junk food, processed food, has a lot of additives, etc. that affects our mind, our hormones, our body. Okay, so having whole food, having good food, good source of protein, good source of carbohydrates, fats, minerals, vitamins, that will help your body. Okay, so having that healthy environment also means that you as a family are doing it. Don't just expect your child to do it if you're not doing it. Do you understand? So you as a family unit, you got to adopt this strategy. Okay, so if you're having a cup of tea, for example, how many sugars are you having in your cup of tea? A lot of people will end up having 2 or 3, and then on top of that they have 2 or 3 cookies as well. That's a hell of a lot of sugar gone into your system. But if you're doing that and then expect your child not to do it, it's going to be hard. So role model a good healthy environment in your family home. Okay. Another thing is your kid getting out? I've noticed a lot of kids nowadays are homebound, and partly is themselves, but partly it's the parents. They're worried about letting them kids out. Okay. Your kid needs fresh air, simple as that. They need to be out there, they need to be walking, they need to be doing outdoor activities, in the garden, in the street. Okay. They need to be doing things, learning skills, okay? And they need to be doing this, regularly, consistently. It can be under your watch, supervised. No problem, keep an eye on them, okay? But they need to be out there, okay? They need to be out there, they need to get the vitamin D from the sun, get the oxygen in their lungs, do you understand? Get them running around, they need to be outdoor, okay? Then you need to let the kids be kids. Okay, let them be kids. Let them learn through being a kid. Will they make mistakes? Yes, but that's part of the learning. Talk to them about that. That's a learning point for you to talk to with your child. Do you understand? Let them be kids. Don't put too much stress and pressure on them. Give them chores, by all means. Reward them, but don't put too much expectations on them. Let them be kids. Okay, don't expect your kid to do what you're doing as an adult. I see this a lot. Where the adults talk to their kids and they're talking down, and they expect their kids to do what they do. And I'm like, you're an adult, he's a kid. Do you understand? Encourage them to do it, but don't expect them to do what you're doing. Do you understand? You have to have a good environment as well when it comes to positive reinforcements. Okay? You should be acknowledging behaviors and actions in your child. When they do something good, big them up on it. Reward that behavior. Do you understand? If they do something for the family, if they do something in the house, if they do for somebody else, if they do something for themselves in school, just having good manners, etc. Find something to give them positive reinforcements. Kids love this. When you tell a kid that I like what you're doing, that coming from an adult, they love it. Do you understand? They want to please the adult even more. And they know they're doing something right. Do you understand? If they do something wrong, pull them up on that. Tell them why it's wrong. Tell them why you don't like it. Okay? Get them to learn between good and bad. Do Do you understand? So positive reinforcement is massive, and a lot of our families don't do this. But what a lot of our families do is put downs, okay? They do a hell of a lot of put downs, and put downs are very bad when it comes to kids. They affect their mental well-being, self-esteem, their confidence. You know, they can create little anger monsters, basically. They can get angry, frustrated, and what happens then? They will just go do something stupid. Okay, so trying to have an environment where you do positive things but don't put them down. If they do something wrong, acknowledge that they're doing something wrong, tell them why it's wrong, and get them to learn between the good and bad. Do you understand? And that you won't, you know, fair enough, you explain to the child that you're not going to tolerate this and you're not going to accept this in this household because this is why we don't do it. Do you understand? So they need to learn why it's bad for them. Do you understand? But don't put them down, and always look for things to praise them on as well. And remember when I said earlier on in the previous videos that you're the role model to your child. Your child will learn from you. Do you understand? So you've got to have a good role model attitude and behavior to yourself and in the house. Simple as no swearing in the house. If you're swearing a lot but then expect your child to not swear, that is very difficult. Do you understand? If you're smoking in the house and then you say to your children, don't smoke, they're already used to passive smoking. That's in their system already. Do you understand? Then if you say to them, you know, do as I say, don't do as I do. Some will listen to that and understand it. But a lot of kids will say, no, if you're doing it, why can't I do it? If it's good enough for you, why is it bad for me? Do you understand? So you have to be the positive role model to them, and you have to have the house, positive environment in the house as well. Okay. Another thing what a lot of families suffer from is there's a hell of a lot of DV in the houses. So kids are growing up watching you and your wife or you and your husband arguing, fighting, etc., swearing at each other, and kids watch this and follow this and think, okay, well, that's if my dad speaks to my mum like that, then I can speak to my mum like that, or I can speak to my sisters like that. Do you understand? I've even been to a house of one of my students where the kid was upstairs and the father shouted him down to that Coach Kiffy was here because I needed to sign some forms, and the way he spoke from upstairs, I was shocked. I was shocked the way he spoke angrily, as if, why you've annoyed me, why have you disturbed me. The father was embarrassed that I was there. So I chose this opportunity. When the kid came down, I gave him a piece of my mind. I told him why I didn't like what he did, and I tried to do it in a way where it wasn't my place, because obviously I'm at the father's house, but I knew the father was embarrassed. I didn't like it, so I switched it on to me. I said, listen, I don't like that, man. I'm your coach, and I don't like being your coach. I don't like the way you spoke to your parent like that. That's not good. You understand? So you've got to pull people up on this. Okay? Nowadays, there's not enough people pulling kids up on certain things. Okay? As long as you're pulling up on something that is worth pulling up on, teach them. Use the opportunity to give them some lessons, life lessons, and pull them up and tell them why what they're doing is impacting them, impacting you, impacting the environment, the community, the people, etc. Does that make sense? Another thing to help have a healthy mindset is you need to challenge your child. Okay, give them some challenges. Take them to sports clubs, activities, get them to learn hobbies. Okay, get them to learn. My daughter was learning Rubik's Cubes recently. It's brilliant. Get them to do it. Get them to learn chess, anything. Challenge your child. Okay, even in school, challenge them to beat that last exam that they did. Kids love challenges. Okay, get them a reward at the end of it. Watch them shine. Watch them come through with flying colors. Does that make sense? Praise them for it and challenge them and test them. And the human body is capable of a lot, so you should be testing them. Okay, test them through sports, hobbies, clubs, even outdoor. Outdoor, you have to take them kids outside. Okay. Now, one thing I was reading recently about is getting kids to do dangerous things supervised. Why it's important to get them to do things that are dangerous, but supervised. I'll give you an example. Now, everybody knows boxing is a brutal sport. Sparring is brutal. Okay, the game punched, you can get a nosebleed and other injuries as well. Okay, but we coaches do it as a supervised way. Okay, if we know that the kid's getting beat too much, we'll jump in straight away. If we know that one kid it's unfair for one kid to fight one kid, we won't let them happen. Okay, we'll make sure it's fair and they're learning from this as well. But at the same time, we're pushing that kid in and say, listen, you can do it. Go in, do your best. So off he's a bit better, do your best. Do you understand? So that's dangerous environment, but it's supervised. Same on the streets. Let them out a bit. Keep an eye on them, but let them out. Okay? If your kids don't go out on the streets and, you know, they don't learn social skills, meeting people, you know, they won't learn what they need to be doing. We always talk about stranger danger and stuff, but we don't really, we will tell them about it, we'll tell the theory about it, but when it comes to the practicality of things, they'll probably freeze. And when they walk on the street, every person's a stranger danger to them. Does that make sense? So you got to have a bit of dangerous element activities, but supervised. And that's when your kid will learn as well, okay? And when they're out and about, or even in sports or whatever, they will make mistakes. Kids do. Simple as that. It's one of the things that kids do. But they need to learn from their mistakes, and that's where you come involved as well, okay? Talk to them about what the mistake was. If it's bad behavior, talk to them about bad behavior. If you have to be a bit firm and strict and, you know, a bit shouting at them, fine, but do it productively. Okay, don't just shout at them and tell them off and they're useless and put them down, but then not give an example of why you're upset about it. Do you understand? Make sure that the kid, whenever they've done something, they learn from that. So they learn not to do it again. Do you understand? So, and also be consistent with all this. Okay, be consistent with all this in your house, within the family settings, within the outdoor activities, etc. So build that in. So remember, a healthy eating environment, get them out there in the fresh air, get them doing activities outdoor, let kids be kids. Okay, do a lot of positive reinforcements with them. Stay away from put downs and negative put downs and negative energy as well. Okay, be a good role model and encourage a good role model household. Okay, challenge your child and have a bit of dangerous activities, but supervised, so they can learn from it as well. Okay, I hope these points can help you out. I hope you can put this into practice with your children, and hopefully inshallah this will benefit you guys. Any comments regarding this, or if you want more information about this, or if you want me to do a video on anything like this again, or other topics, fire them comments through to me, and hopefully inshallah I will look into them and get a video out on them. So I hope you enjoyed this whole topic. It was a big topic, hence why I broke it down into parts. It initially was 3 parts, but then the last third part I've broken down again. So really there's 4 parts to this video. So if you haven't seen the previous parts, go back on my channel and watch them. And while you're on the channel, check out my other stuff, boxing related, training related, some of the fun stuff I put on there as well. And I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you again in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.